Prior to commencing, can I just remind people who have a mobile phone just to check that it's turned to silent, please? Good morning, everyone. I'm Jenny Noblet, and it's a privilege for me to conduct today's service for Jason Lenton as we come together to celebrate his life and our love for him. Jason was a big James Blunt fan, and two songs he recently had on repeat were Sacrifice and Monster. We're going to open the service with Sacrifice, and we'll hear Monster later on.
It's a human sign when things go wrong. Tender lingers, temptation strong, into the boundary of each married man. Sweet deceit comes calling, and negativity lands. Cold, cold heart, hard done by you. Something's looking better, baby, just passing through. And it's no sacrifice, just a simple word. It's two hearts living in two separate worlds. But it's no sacrifice, no sacrifice. It's no sacrifice at all. Mutual misunderstanding after the fight. Sensitivity built a prison. In the final act, we lose direction. No stone unturned, no tears to damn you. When jealousy burns, cold, cold heart, hard done by you. Something's looking better, baby, just passing through. And it's no sacrifice, just a simple word. It's two hearts living in two separate worlds. But it's no sacrifice, no sacrifice. It's no sacrifice at all. Cold, cold heart, hard done by you. Some things looking better, baby, just passing through. And it's no sacrifice, just a simple word. It's two hearts living in two separate worlds. And it's no sacrifice, no sacrifice. It's no sacrifice at all. No sacrifice at all. No sacrifice at all.
Feel no guilt in laughter. He'd know how much you care. Feel no sorrow in a smile that he's not here to share. You cannot grieve forever, and he would not want you to. He'd hope that you would carry on the way you always do. So talk about the good times and the way you showed you cared, the days you spent together, or the happiness you shared. Let memories surround you. A word someone may say will suddenly recapture a time, an hour, or a day that brings him back as clearly as though he were still here, and fills you with the feeling that is always near. For if you keep these moments, you'll never be apart, and he will live forever, locked safely within your heart. We're here today because of the unexpected and sad loss of Jason. He was dearly loved, and his family is struggling to accept that their wonderful husband, dad, and pop is no longer with them. You'll remember Jason as a living, vital presence, a man who was loving and protective of his family. Jason had a giving and generous nature with a happy outlook on life. And with his cheeky, playful charm, he was always the life of the party, never without a big smile on his face and always a BB in his hand. Jason loved being a prankster. He was the ultimate prankster. He would aim for at least one good prank every day. And even if he was on the receiving end, he saw the funny side. He was definitely the clown of the house, a title that he wore proudly. Joking aside, first and foremost, for 33 years. They met as teenagers when Danielle would visit family friends who lived in the same street as Jason. And when Danielle's family moved, they found themselves at the same school in the same year 7. Danielle fell for this blonde surfy boy with the long curly locks. And obviously, Jason fell for Danielle. They may have been only kids when they married, but their marriage has stood the test of time, and the challenges that they faced over the years only strengthened their bond, as well as having 6 children along the way. They were soulmates, inseparable. One was never without the other. Like peanut butter and jelly, they were a great combination. And Danielle knew that Jason was always there for her. Jason's kids were his whole world, and he was a very proud, protective and supportive dad to Tamara, Shane, Kelly, Taylor, Jason and Ty. And he welcomed their partners, Thomas, Jess, Lee and Paige, into the family. The ultimate joy for Jason was when he became a grandpop. And he was a loving and doting pop, Leno, to Callan, Cooper, Quade and Ripley. And he was looking forward to the arrival of a little granddaughter in a few weeks' time. His grandkids were the light of his life, and he loved nothing more than spending time with them, and they loved spending time with their pop. Jason was also a much-loved brother and brother-in-law, nephew, cousin and uncle, and a lifelong friend to his good mate Jamie. Without a doubt, Jason will be dearly missed by his loving family and all who are fortunate enough to know him. Today we're here not only to say goodbye to Jason, but to acknowledge and celebrate his life and give thanks for the gift of Jason in our lives. Each of you will have your own special memories or connections to him. And although we come together in sadness, we also gather with respect, appreciation, joy and happiness for Jason's life and the legacy that he's left. His passing has brought great sadness to his family as the ties of love were so strong. But always remember, nothing can detract from the happiness and the closeness that you shared with Jason, and nothing can alter your love for him or his love for you. So be grateful that Jason was part of your lives and that his influence, his character, his warmth, and his memory live on. He's part of your family tree and he'll always be part of your lives. And his love for you will always be with you. Jason was born on the 20th of June 1970 in Paddington, the ninth and youngest child of Ronald and Nolene Lenton. Jason has older siblings Lauren, Gary, Stuart, Stacey, Donna, Sharon, Tommy and Ronnie. He grew up in the Penrith area, attending the local schools, where his best subject was mischief. He didn't have much time for school, much preferring to be outdoors. He loved sport and he started playing soccer at an early age, but he changed to rugby league in year 7. He played rugby league for St Mary's Band Club, St Dom's and Penrith, where he played alongside a young Greg Alexander. He would later pass on his footy skills as coach of the Glendale Gorillas footy team. In year 7, he also started boxing at the Penrith Police Boys Club, where he boxed until his early 20s. He was a good boxer and won a number of titles over the years, including Golden Gloves champion. He was also a keen surfer, and being a Westie, it was quite a trek from Penrith to either Manly or Bondi to have a regular surf. 25 years ago, the opportunity came up to relocate to Newcastle. Jason jumped at the chance, as this meant he could not only be closer to the beach, but closer to his brothers. A win-win situation as far as Jason was concerned. Jason took his role as father very seriously. He was very paternal, and his kids were his priority. He encouraged them to get a good education. He taught them Jason's ABCs: act, behave, consequences. He taught them that when you are down, the only way is up. He taught them how to arm wrestle, and he loved to challenge them at it. He taught them that being competitive was good, and Jason was the most competitive of all. He had a number of favourite sayings, and he particularly liked "go hard or go home," or "such is life." He had a number of jobs over the years, all outdoors. He could pretty much turn his hand to anything. He was a greenkeeper at Walker Golf Club, a concreter and a builder, and during that time it included relocating homes. For the past 15 years, he enjoyed working at Jesmond Villas, doing general maintenance, and he was also a jack of all trades, fixing and doing whatever needed to be done. His favourite time was family time, spending time with Danielle, his kids, or his grandkids. And you are all the positive evidence that his legacy will live on. Jason's second eldest, Shane, is now going to share words that she wrote shortly after losing her lovely dad. And then we're going to hear from his fourth eldest daughter, Taylor.
To our dearest dad, so bright and beautiful, we will always be sitting here wondering why. You have left a hole in our hearts. You have left a hole in our hearts that can't be filled. Losing you, Dad, has torn us apart. Memories upon memories. Where do I start? Me pie facing you with shaving cream, or you and Mum singing and dancing and airboxing. We created so many memories. Now we're here at the end. The feeling is raw. The feeling is sad. You hit us where it hurts. It's hard to comprehend. As the days go by, that you won't be coming home. You're constantly crossed our minds. I wish I could just turn back time. We love you, Dad. It's been one hell of a ride. You are now out of pain. You will always be our memory that we will cherish. Hugs and kisses to the skies above. We shall see you in our own time when it's our time to say goodbye. I promise I will protect and always watch Mum. I promise she'll always take her tablets morning and night. This is not goodbye, Dad, but this is I love you and we will see you soon.
Dad, I never thought I'd be standing here saying goodbye to you. Our lives were just beginning. We had so much to look forward to. My heart is breaking in ways I didn't even know was possible. It's breaking for my brothers, my sisters, their dogs, my unborn child. Oh, my heart is breaking for everything we all missed. All the what ifs, all the could have been. Sorry. All the memories that we'll never get the chance to make. Oh, my heart is breaking knowing you won't be around for all my big milestones, like moving into the house I just brought, having my first daughter, walking me down the aisle. Oh. You should still be here, Dad. It's not fair. Growing up, he always called me a little brainiac or a little nerd. How the frick do we get through this? No one showed me how. How do we do this, Dad? I remember writing to you a long time ago, scared, telling you that I had depression and about my meds. You wrote a letter back to me saying, Taylor, don't worry about your depression. Everyone has it. And then you continued to tell me to talk to my doctor. But before long you wrote, join the club, it's not the end of the world. Well, I hope not. I'm going to miss you saying how it was, normalising that it's okay to not be okay, but also finding the bright side in shitty situations. I'll always remember the advice you gave me that day. You said, remember, keep your head up as you have no reason to put it down. Before long, you made a cheeky joke saying, head up, ass down, work and study before you signed off your letter. Dad, I'll keep my head up, but it's so fucking hard. Thank you for always supporting me and encouraging me. It's been a hell of a ride. I hope you partied hard for your birthday yesterday. 51, you old man. I hope you enjoy your VB that we brought you. I love and I miss you.
Yeah, very good. Very good. So I actually did a couple of races on P8 final night, and I think I was more nervous.
Kelly, Jason's third eldest daughter, has written the following to be read on her behalf. From being a sick little baby, you have always been by my side, either walking to and from the hospital visiting me, no matter the time of day, rain or shine, you were always there by my bedside. Even when I stressed you and Mum out, giving you grey hairs and a fright. I will always remember being by your side, going to work with you, knocking down the walls. I'll always laugh at the wall hitting you on the head as it came down. I remember also being by your side, wanting to help you out with anything hands-on, from riding the motorbikes with you to helping fix them. I remember always having family days down the park, playing football or running laps around the ovals for $50 bets. It was always you and I left. As soon as I stopped, you would stop. I remember you giving us 50 cents to tickle your back for 30 minutes, as well as all of us kids colouring in your tattoos. I always loved colouring in my name with it being in a love heart. I remember Taylor and I putting on plays in the lounge room, making you all laugh. I remember doing the fanny guitar and having you chase me around the house. I'll forever remember you being a great dad, always going out of your way to make sure we were safe, treated good, and always putting us first. You hold a special place in my heart, Dad. Love you and miss you. Jason and Jamie Riley became good friends in primary school, and they've been firm friends ever since. Always there for each other, Jamie was the first person that Jason would turn to for support, and vice versa. They were like brothers, and Jason would joke that they were brothers from another mother. Jamie is now going to share his memories of his good mate.
What can I say? Hasn't already been said about a man. It was Jason. If it wasn't for Jason so long ago, I wouldn't have experienced such a friendship. Jason was always there, no matter what the experience. He was always positive. From the time we first met each other, it was destined that we'd be friends forever. He was a surfie. I just moved to the west from Cronulla, and I had nobody to rely on. Jason was there. We shared so many things in common. We were like brothers. I had so much admiration for a man who stood by his family, his children. He loved so much. Danielle. We all know he's your soulmate. We shared so many things together. You, me, Jason, Jill, the birthing of our children, the jokes, the laughter about how many girls he'd have. He'd often come and see me and try and steal my son, all in jokes, thinking I wouldn't notice. And that was Jason. No matter what we had, it can never be broken. I'll never experience another friend, a mateship, or a person like Jason. He was one in a trillion. And I'm glad that I had the pleasure of meeting, sharing so many memories. For days and days I've been writing. And it's like I could write a novel just on the experiences we shared. So from the heart, Jason, I love you, brother. I'll watch over your family, believe me. They're in my heart forever. I love you, mate. See you soon.
Jason was the baby of a family of 9, and his older sisters, Donovar and Sharon Chamber, are now going to share some of their memories of their baby brother.
You must have been off your head for nerve. You must have been just, if you had a heart rate on you would have been max, surely max.
Oh, yeah, I actually watched it on my own. All it was me earlier in the day. And I had
I would like to thank you all sincerely for coming today, for sharing and listening to the voices of aching hearts. We are gathered here today in the memory of my brother Jason, so that we may share both our joy in the gift of his life and the pain that his passing brings. God gave us tears to wash away our pain. I am the eldest of my mother's children, and Jason is the youngest, my baby brother. Mum, I cannot imagine your pain and grief that you are going through. You do not expect to lose a child before yourself. For that, I am truly sorry. Grief has no rules. Jason was a family man. He was his most happiest when he was surrounded by his family, even during the tough times that life has a way of throwing at you. His devotion to his family was what defined and shaped his life. As I look out at everyone's faces, I see many family members and friends. I know that you too will miss him. I am sure you'll remember Jason in your own special way. Jason loved his football, boxing, and of course his beer. He loved seeing his own children involved in sports. He also loved stirring his kids up. The pages of your book, brother, will never be closed, just like the pages of Dad and Gary's book. We will remember you through the many people still left behind whose life you touched, especially your loving partner, Danielle, and your children and grandchildren. Jason, we will miss you, but we will always remember you. Life changes, but memories are forever, and that I am grateful. Thank you, Jason, for being my brother. My love for you is forever. Brother, you were something else. You always had my back. Your one true love was Danielle and your children and your grandchildren. Jason, it's very hard for me to say goodbye, so I think I will just say, so long, brother. This is not the end until we meet again. Fly high, my baby brother. May you rest in peace.
Once again, thanks. Once again, thanks everyone for coming and paying their respects to Danielle and her beautiful children and my mother. I'm so sorry. Today I'm going to talk about my baby brother. Our mother gave birth to him on the 20th of June in 1970 at Crown Street Women's Hospital in Darlinghurst, New South Wales. Hood weighed 6.5 pounds. He was a perfect baby. He thrived and he reached all his milestones. He ate well, and that's how he got his name, Putty. Mum always called him Putty Pie. He just ate and ate. When Mum brought him home, I truly believed she bought me a new doll because I always played with dolls, as my brothers will remember. Jace was the most beautiful baby I had ever seen as a child. He had curly locks of hair, which eventually turned into those golden blocks that everyone adored him. He was so beautiful. He was so often mistaken as a baby girl. People were shocked when Mum would say, "No, he's my baby boy." And I think a few times they actually dressed him as a girl just to see what people would say. Jace grew up as a loving, caring boy. His favourite toy was Humphrey Bear. Mum recalls Jason sitting out on the back doorstep back at Tempe. We had a dog called Benji. He'd sit there feeding a spoon, saying, "Here's a spoon for you and one for me," until Mum shouted out, "You can't eat the dog food." He went missing one day when he was all of the age of 4. Mum knew exactly where to go find him because the place we used to live in had a vacant block and there was a school sitting up on the top. He was up there looking for his twin brothers. We were a blended family of 9 children. We had strict rules and strong family values. We lived a very sheltered childhood. We were only allowed to play in our own backyard and on our street where Mum could call out our names and we could hear her. We played for hours and hours as kids in our above ground swimming pool, making whirlpools and see who can go under the water the longest because it was always a competition. Camping at Yamina Beach, getting KFC foam surfboards, getting smashed by big waves and fighting all the way back home to Tempe in the back of the old Holden. Who had the biggest foam piece left? Mind you, it was only a tiny little bit of foam, but it was always a competition. Our best Christmas ever was when we asked our mum for our skateboards because we grew up in the skateboard era and we bloody got them. They were amazing. They were timber boards painted bright colours and matching bright wheels called hot dogs. I remember Jay saying to me, "Why are they called hot dogs?" And I think I said, "Because they go fast." We taught ourselves how to skateboard with lots of stacks and bruises and band-aids and going home running, crying to Mum. Our blended family separated and my 3 brothers and I went with our mum. After about a year, our twins returned back to their father one by one. It was just Jason and I left with Mum. Jason would cry every night and comfort Mum. Mum would lay there for hours crying for her twins to come home. Eventually, Jason started fretting for his brothers and he went back. Times were hard and they were sad. Our mother was heartbroken. She now lost 3 sons. They were packed up and moved out to the western suburbs to a community which is different to what we grew up in ourselves. That was back in the mid-70s, early 80s. Life was different out there. My brothers had to grow up fast and be streetwise. They were broken-hearted. I could see it when I used to visit them. They were growing up without their mother in a single family. I could see sadness in Jason's eyes when he met him at Macca's visits. If only I had the knowledge and resilience that I have today as a woman, I could have truly made a difference, but I couldn't. I was just a kid myself. Jason We hope, Mum and I, you're at peace, you're at a pain, brother. We love you and you're forever in our hearts, buddy.
Jason's twin brothers, Tommy and Ronnie, had the following words they'd like said. To our brother Jason, so many memories to share, but we don't know where to start. Baby brother, fly high. You're now with Dad, Gary and Merv. Your memory will always be in our hearts. Never forgotten, bro. Rest easy. Love, your twin brothers. I don't think that Jason was the type of man who would want you to grieve for long, but he would want you to be glad for his life and to think of him with happiness and fond memories. And I believe that if he had the chance to live his life over, that he wouldn't change a thing. Jason will be dearly missed by all those whose lives he touched and those who loved him. Most importantly, he'll be missed for who he was, a loving, funny, generous and loyal man who's left an indelible imprint on your lives. The family has compiled a DVD of significant photos from Jason's life, and while we watch this, we'll listen to Goodbye My Lover by James Blunt and Dancing in the Sky by Danny and Lizzie.
Tell me, what does it look like in heaven? Is it peaceful? Is it free like they say? Does the sun shine bright forever? Have your fears and your pain gone away? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angels' choir, and I hope the angels know what they have. I bet it's so nice up in heaven since you arrived. So tell me, what do you do in heaven? Are your days filled with love and light? Is there music? Is there art and invention? Tell me, are you happy? Are you more alive? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angels' choir, and I hope the angels know what they have. I bet it's so nice up in heaven since you arrived. Since you arrived. I hope you're it's so nice up in heaven since you arrived. Since you arrived. Like in heaven. Is it peaceful? Is it free like they say?
Did I disappoint you or let you down? Should I be feeling guilty or let the judges frown? 'Cause I saw the end before it began. Yes, I saw you blinded and I knew I had won. So I took what's mine by eternal right. Took your soul out into the night. It may be over, but it won't stop there. I am here for you, if you'd only care. You touched my heart, you touched my soul, and you changed my life and all my goals. And love is blind, and that I knew well. My heart was blinded by you. I've kissed your lips and held your head, shared your dreams and shared your bed. I know you well, I know your smell. I've been addicted to you. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. I'm a dreamer. When I wake, you can't break my spirit. It's my dreams you take. And as you move on, remember me. Remember us and all we used to be. I've seen you cry, I've seen you smile. I've watched you sleeping for a while. I'd be the father of your child. I'd spend a lifetime with you. I know your fears and you know mine. We've had our doubts, but now we're fine. And I love you, I swear that's true. I cannot live without you. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. And I still hold your hand in mine, and I'm asleep. And I will bear my soul in time when I'm kneeling at your feet. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. I'm so hollow, baby. I'm so hollow. I'm so hollow. I'm so hollow, baby. I'm so hollow. I'm so hollow.
There's an opportunity now to say your personal goodbye to Jason by placing a flower on his coffin. Please let the family come first. And during this time, we'll listen to Monster by James Blunt.
Before they turn off all the lights, I won't read you your wrongs or your rights. The time has gone. I'll tell Tell you good night, close the door. Tell you I love you once more. The time has gone, so here it is. I'm not your son, you're not my father. We're just two grown men saying goodbye. No need to forgive, no need to forget. I know your mistakes and you know mine. And while you're sleeping, I'll try to make you proud. So daddy, won't you just close your eyes? Don't be afraid, it's my time to chase the monsters away. Oh, well, I'll read a story to you. Only difference is this one is true. The time is gone. I folded your clothes on the chair. I hope you sleep well, don't be scared. The time has gone, so here it is. I'm not your son, you're not my father. We're just two grown men saying goodbye. No need to forgive, no need to forget. I know your mistakes and you know mine. And while you're sleeping, I'll try to make you proud. So daddy, won't you just close your eyes? Don't be afraid, it's my time to chase the monsters away. Sleep a lifetime, yes, and breathe the last word. You can feel my hand on your arm. I will be the last one, so I'll leave a light on. Let there be no darkness in your heart. But I'm not your son, you're not my father. We're just two grown men saying goodbye. No need to forgive, no need to forget. I know your mistakes and you know mine. And while you're sleeping, I'll try to make you proud. So daddy, won't you just close your eyes? Don't be afraid, it's my time to chase the monsters away.
And you'll probably have to face the breeze again this bit like you did last week. He was a really good little chance, but he's a little bit one case. He lets dash, but he probably, put it this way, I think the $2 footing that they offered, I probably would have backed him at that with those odds, but I missed the opportunity. But yeah, last week they opened up for $1.30, he got out to $3.20, so Trumpers didn't like him last week in the night, so he was way too short. But this one's a different week, and he's looking very hard to get for sure, Dave.
Fantastic, mate. All right, have a good day, mate.
Okay, we'll go to the top, Dave. I'll see you later.
See you, Jimmy Jakes there with Globe Derby. We've got to get to Ron Knight now, who's calling Bathurst. G'day, Ron.
Morning, Dave. Morning, everyone.
All right, what do you like? Give us a best in footy, Ron.
Yeah, a couple I've come up with today, both in the one box. So,
It's hard to imagine that in just this short time here today, we can condense a person's whole life. We can't, but it's obvious from the words spoken and shared this morning that without a doubt, Jason's life mattered. The things that he did made a difference to you all, and his life was significant to your lives. So remember the gladness and the happiness that you shared with him, and remember that there is a lot to appreciate. Memories are priceless treasures that we can cherish forever in our hearts, and nothing can take them away from us. They enable us to continue on with our journey. Your memories of Jason, his pranks, his cheekiness, his kindness, his generosity, his love of his family, and his caring, loving nature, these will be the things that you'll smile about and hold dear and be part of your memories as we say farewell to Jason today. Can I ask you to now please stand? Now, with tenderness and respect, the time has come to say goodbye to Jason. Always remember Jason's love for you and your love for him, and let that love live on in your hearts. Be grateful for the life that he's lived and for all that his life has meant to you. Jason, thank you for being you. Thank you for your love and your care and for always being there for us. A devoted and loving husband, an amazing, one-of-a-kind dad, a loving pop, brother, uncle, nephew, cousin, and good mate. Some men go through life never seen, never heard, and never laying a brick. But Jason has been seen, he has been heard, and he has laid the lifelong foundations for the lives of his children and his grandchildren. Jason, rest in peace with the knowledge that you are loved, will be missed, and will live on forever in the hearts and minds of your family. Dear Jason, you'll never be forgotten. May you go from here today with the gift that Jason has given you of his love and his friendship. As a final tribute to Jason, we're going to close with a song that he loved to sing to Danielle. It's called Need You Now by Lady A.
Picture perfect memories scattered all around the floor. Reaching for the phone 'cause I can't fight it anymore. And I wonder if I ever crossed your mind. For me it happens all the time. It's 1:15, I'm all alone and I need you now. Said I wouldn't call, but I lost all control and I need you now. And I don't know how I can do without. I just need you now.
Another shot of whiskey, can't stop looking at the door. Wishing you come sweeping in the way you did before.
And I wonder if I ever crossed your mind.
For me it happens all the time.
It's 1:15, I'm a little drunk and I need you now. Said I wouldn't one call, but I'm lost all control and I need you now. And I don't know how I can do without. I just need you now. Guess I'd rather hurt than feel nothing at all. It's 1:15. I'm all alone and I need you now. And I said I wouldn't call, but I'm a little drunk and I need you now. And I don't know how I can do without. I just need you now. I just need you now. Oh, baby, I need you
Race 3, number 12. This meeting knocked around with scratchings as well, Dave, with a heavy 9. Post scratching time, race 3, number 12, Queen of Sass, $2 now to $1.65. Race 5, number 6, Otis, $7.50 now into $5.50, equal favourite in a wide open betting affair. Race 6, number 9, Funky Farm, again post scratching time, 10 into 7. And the final one there for the day, race 7, number 11, Dancing Duck, 11 into 7, so the 4 at Wang. Race 3, number 12, Queen of Sass. Race 5, number 6, Otis. Race 6, number 9, Funky Farm. Race 7, number 11, Dancing Duck. And the best out of all of those at both meetings, Dave, is clearly Musselwhip. Race 5, number 3, Mr. Whittaker.
Beautiful. All right, so Dan will be back shortly because we'll get an update on sport. In fact, we'll do that after Warrnambool race number 4, mate. And we'll go through just what price was Johnny Rahm going in that final round quickly today.
I think he was around about the 10